We need to put that system that you're enjoying where you live in our land, because we believe that our people deserve better. Our people deserve better than giving them crumbs. Today you give them $10, tomorrow 10 euro, tomorrow you give them this. These are crumbs. We say our people deserve to live in a good environment. And that is why we're calling on you this morning, that you will join us to pull down that book of Lucifer, that singular book of Lucifer that has brought nothing but death, misfortune, underdevelopment to our people, to us, to everyone. Because Nigeria, as currently constituted, is crime against humanity, and it needs to stop. Thank you. Please, are we ready with the next video?
Yes. Just a little bit of correction. Please, I forgot to click the YouTube button and it wasn't there before, but it's there now. So if you are watching us on YouTube, I know you've been looking for it. I'm sorry.
So sorry.
It should be on now. Sorry about that. We are too excited to see you guys, and I forgot.
Our sister, Ambassador Akano. You see, but because everyone is speaking, everyone that knows what is going wrong, what has gone wrong, is saying something. We'll listen to her so that we'll get more information. Some of you have watched this video before. Watch it again, because each time you watch, you will hear something that you didn't hear before.
Mm-hmm.
Don't click out and say, oh, I've seen this video before. No. You have seen the video, but have you come out of the problem? No. So please, don't click out to go and look at a woman's breast and come back. Stay one place. You're not suffering from whatever, I don't want to call it. But stay one place, please, and let's listen to her. Thank you.
The truth and nothing but the truth. France remains as a member of the UN Security Council, and yet France today remains one of the biggest perpetrators of human rights violations in Africa. And everybody is giving it, the world is giving it a blind eye. United Nations, it is a body that's supposed to be the watchdog for human rights violations. France remains the biggest risk to peace and security in Africa today, and nobody is talking about it. France did something absolutely deplorable. Made the former colonies, because they still are colonized, sign a document which they called the Pact for the Continuation of Colonization. Did this. On one hand, we're giving you your independence, but on the other hand, sign this document that you are agreeing to continue to be colonized. So two countries said, no way, Jose, we ain't doing this. Guinea and Mali. The French could not understand it. How could an African country dare not want to be affiliated with France? So in their anger, history tells us that they went into those two countries, took everything that they thought they had brought, proceeded to pour concrete into the sewage pipes, completely devastating the two economies. This was also done as a way of letting the other countries know that should you refuse to sign this document, this is the fate that awaits you. So the rest of the countries signed the pact for the continuation of colonization remains in place. What is special about this? The pact for the continuation of colonization said, 1, you shall deposit 85% of your bank reserves with the French Central Bank under the control of the French Minister of Finance. The French government will take all your monies, collectively invest your monies in the French stock market under the French name. And you don't have to know what the returns are. Should you wish to access some of your money, keep in mind that countries are now left with only 15% of their reserves. You have to submit your country's financial report, and if approved, you get to access up to 20% of your deposits from the previous year as a loan at commercial interest rates. I'm going to repeat that. Should you want to access some of your own money, you have to submit your own country's financial report. And if approved, you get it as a loan at commercial interest rate. So you go from having a humongous credit with France to now owing France for borrowing your own money. A loan that you'll never be able to finish paying. They also said, all your minerals discovered and yet to be discovered, French companies have the first right of refusal. You go to those countries today, all major contracts, French companies have the first right of refusal. The water supply, the power supply, the mining fixtures, the oil rigs, roads construction, airports, French companies have the first right of refusal. If anything is left, the people in your country may get it. They also said, your military can only be trained by France. You can only purchase military equipment from France. France shall have military presence in your country and can invade your country without notice if France feels that her interests in your country are being violated. In the past many years, we've had 67 coups in Africa out of 26 countries. Of the 26 countries, the coups, 16 coups, were 16 countries were former French colonies. To date, 22 African leaders were assassinated during a coup, documented all of them. France was behind it. Simply because France felt they were, quote unquote, threatening French interests. Countries are still depositing their funds to France, do's and don'ts as stipulated by the Pact for the Continuation of Colonization. You have given up your financial resources. You have given up control of your natural resources.
All right, so we'll have this video on our Facebook page. We have to understand what these issues are in order for us to do things about it, because a lot of you are sitting there thinking that we are not under colonization, and you guys don't know that the same forefathers has just changed hands, and now they're doing the same kind of business in a different manner. So understanding this, so that when we are screaming about those holding us down, we know who to look for. It's not just Britain that is holding us down, because if we need to get Britain to leave us alone, then France, as their NATO connection, with their NATO connection, will not allow you, because they are there to protect Britain. So all of them are in the same kind of business, doing the same kind of thing, just in a different manner. So understanding this piece will help us to know who we need to address when it comes to letting go of our rights, in terms of them letting go of our rights. So Dr. Arikana has played a very big role in alerting a whole lot of us that care to listen, because people don't listen to women, hey, who is that woman talking? She should go and stand up and pee. They will not hear what she's saying. So I didn't know that. If you ask me, I did not know before that France still has a stronghold on their so-called Commonwealth, because I guess those areas are the Commonwealth for the French people, whereas we, the Nigerian, and the rest of us are Commonwealth for the Britain. So they are still in business, y'all. They're still in business, doing what they need to do to support their own people, using our resources to keep their people welfare going, their retirement going, everything going, while we come to their country to clean up their private parts for their grandmothers, as if we have no brain. Go ahead, sister.
Yes, my sister. As if we have no brain. When you listen to some of these things, you want to scream. The natural tendency for anybody that has brain is like, what? This is going on and I didn't even know. So it's heartbreaking for us to say this thing, and our people that call themselves politicians, church leaders, traditional rulers, or traditional criminals, whatever they're called, will hear it and not say, what do we do today to change this?
Now.
Now. And that's why sometimes when we talk to some people, they feel we are insulting them. Because I have no respect for criminals, for people that want to kill others for their selfish gain. Sorry, I don't have respect for you. Because it doesn't make sense to me why somebody would want to do that. You see, there are three key tools that these people use, these colonial masters and their agents and everything, because they work together. Like Sister Muna said, it's not just a Britain thing. Because some people say, Britain will never allow you to go. It's not France alone. They teamed together and formed alliance to exploit others. Why can't you form your own alliance to say no to what they're doing? Because we are able. They use three tools: ignorance, fear, and military terrorism. You see the terrorism we are talking about? Yes, they started it.
Mm-hmm.
They are the ones that recruit people, train them. If you ever hear of any terrorists in anywhere in the world, these people trained them. Because you know what? In my village, there's no place we train terrorists.
Nope.
We don't even know what it is, because it's against our culture and tradition to go around stealing people's resources and land and killing them. It's not our culture. It's not our tradition. My forefathers did not know things like that, because it's an abomination in our land. In our land, if you steal yam, just yam, is abomination. You will be dealt with. You'll be excommunicated. Some people will be chased into evil forests. I'm not talking about Oyago, like somebody that is hungry and took yam to eat. That one is different. We are talking about the one that you go and molest others and steal their land, steal their things and all that. My people will not allow you to go on with that life. They will stop you. Not to talk of nations going from place to place, stealing people's lands and properties and giving it all sorts of names. And then there are people who hear and say it's okay. That means you're a different set of people. You came from after this space. You're not a human being. So we're saying, for those that are still basking in the pool of ignorance, please allow those of us that understand the situation to speak. Yes. If you don't know what to say, just keep quiet. My sister Mona will say, it's okay to be quiet. It's okay to say, I don't know what to say. Let me just keep quiet and listen. Because you know what? When you listen, you begin to understand, and then you begin to know what to now say eventually. Because you're not going to be dumb eventually. But at that moment, you don't know enough to speak on that matter. We hear people that do not know anything about constitution, about laws and all that, speak to us on things they have no clue about. I hear one Yoruba guy. He's campaigning for Tifunubu. What did he say? He said that he does not know who Awolowo is, and that he did not care to know about him. All he knows is that Tifunubu is the one that multiplied gala sellers in Lagos. What? And because he made our children to sell more gala on the road, he is going to be president of Nigeria.
Wow.
And he's saying it, speaking English with boldness. He said this thing that he has achieved in Lagos, he will do it again in Nigeria. So what say, you see, a lot of people are ignorant. But that is not even the crime. The crime is that you're speaking to us from your point of ignorance. That's where you're committing crime. Because in that clubhouse, when I was listening, I hear a lot of people like, my goodness, is this guy saying this in the open? Meanwhile, he has his own children abroad, schooling abroad, while he was clapping hands and saying that the person that made more of our children to sell gala on the streets has done well. Have you seen the height of deception that we're talking about? So we're saying, we know that these people use ignorance, because when you are ignorant, you are afraid for nothing. What something you don't know, you're just afraid of it. But assuming you get informed, you will know that there's no fear in the self-determination project that we're doing. There's nothing to be afraid of. Another thing, like we said, they use military terrorism. But that can only work when you give them reason to use that terror on you. How do you give them reason to do that? You see, one thing about these criminals is like they like to hide. Both their agents, their politicians, all of them, they don't want to be exposed. They want to hide everything they're doing. Just exposing what they're doing is good enough. But by the time you carry machetes, broken bottle, and see military people coming and say you want to attack them, they will kill you. Because you don't have equipment. You're not equipped to fight them. So you are only aiding them in their evil. They wanted to kill you anyways. They want you to leave your land. They want you to run, like what's that movie that what that Simba?
Forrest Gump.
No, the other one that's I forgot it when I remember. They say, Simba, run away from your land. The uncle, the wicked uncle, says, Simba, run away from your land. Run. Because when you run away, they can take your land. They can take what belongs to you. So they want you to run. You yourself, do you want to run? That's what you ask yourself. And that's what we talk to our children, especially those in Southeast. Please, stop giving them reason to kill us. They will kill you, we know. But you giving them reason to now come and kill you is what is not okay. Anybody living in diaspora, contributing money and giving you to buy chakabula, to fight people that are coming with armored tankers. Even if you don't value your life, don't you value the mother that gave birth to you? Do you think she gave birth to you for you to just die like a millipede? Please, my people, listen to us. We have strategy to do these things. Are you surprised that when they speak, they don't mention Ninas? They dare not. Because we have closed all the doors. This thing is brain work. We have closed all the doors. That anyone they mention, a trap will catch them. We set traps every corner. It's like when you're chasing Ewi in my land. Like people, Ewi is an animal. I don't want to call it in English. It's Ewi, we call it. So learn it. When you chase it, you have to close all the exits. Then put trap in the other place. So that as they run here, they will not enter the trap. Nina set trap for all the evil people everywhere.
Yep.
So as they run around, they're the ones that will fall into trap, not us. Because we are using their own laws, their constitution, their whatever they set, we are using them against them. So if they ever attack us, it means that they're in support of what we are doing and what we're saying. Because that's the only reason you can attack me for saying the truth. I saw one woman that they were beating in Sokoto. He said, how dare you say something against the senator? Yes, because the senator has made himself Lord over us. That's for him to be able to do that shows that what we're saying, that 1999 constitution that we're saying that is fraudulent, that means that what we're saying is true. So anybody that attacks Ninas, we fall into the trap that we have set. But if you by yourself, you now carry machete, and then you're running around to go and hug transformer, to hug armored tankers, you are committing suicide. So this next movie, video we're showing you is to buttress what we're saying. And this is a proof. This man now is coming out for Nigerian. He wants to be president of Nigeria. this man. You will hear him say the 1999 Constitution, that all those things that, he will say the right things. We'll now ask him, what changed? You know that this thing is not good, but you want to do it anyways. Why? And you call yourself a nobleman. Are you not trying to disgrace the name that you bear? Is that not what you're trying to do? Who is threatening you? Who is blackmailing you and telling you that you must rise up and do the wrong thing? Who is doing this to you, Mr. Baba? Who is doing this to you? Why will you vomit and take back the vomit into your mouth? What is happening to you? So we'll play this for you, and then you see our brother also coming to say, because we're saying what we're saying. We have been saying it for 21 years, and we'll continue to say it. And we'll not stop saying it. And we'll continue to say it. Whether you get it or not, we'll continue to say it.
Yep.
Please go ahead.
Back since the 60s, we have been having symptoms of an unstable country in disequilibrium. If you have what they call an inverted structure, whereby if you put the peak of a pyramid down and let the base stand up, that pyramid will fall. I think that it is clear to every right-thinking person that Nigeria is not properly structured. The foundations are not right. And so you have this constant instability, disruptions, and eruptions. And what one will come to a conclusion is, what do we do to make this federation stable? What do we do to make this group of people who have come together as a country, different nations, different cultures, different persuasions and philosophies wielded together? Maybe the welding was not properly done, and so you have fissures and cracks, and each is causing turbulence. And Nigeria is wobbling from one crisis to another, A nation that has failed to develop, not because it does not have people who can make it develop, but because the circumstances of the structure have continued to inhibit the total manifestation of the potentials of the people. So what you see is symptoms of an instability. And what every right-thinking person, if your house is leaking, cracked, falling, pushed, you need to see what you do. You may have to bring down the house and rebuild it, or put new structures to hold it. And if you will face this, I'm sorry, I'm not a prophet of doom, but I'll be sad to see that my children, because in all my adult life, I've lived through this, and I wouldn't like my children and grandchildren to also live through it.
Thank you, Mas Okobum. And from you, Tony, why are there these numerous agitations?
Yes, like Maza pointed out, the diagnosis. By the way, the Lower Niger Congress is the aggregation of the self-determination initiatives across the greater eastern Nigeria, the eastern half of southern Nigeria, meaning the old eastern region and the old midwestern region, but coming together as ethnic nationalities. So we're talking about the Igbo, the Ijaw, the Shekiri, the Anang, the Efik, all in that block, because the foundation upon which Nigeria was constructed was flawed fundamentally. And it wasn't by accident that it got flawed. It was because Nigeria was put together as a business venture by the British. They came here very clear-headed in what they were coming to do. It was actually a criminal enterprise, because we had to, in the diagnosis we did in the organization I lead, we went right down to 1914, and we found out that even before the 1914, there were things that had transpired which were not placed on the table for anybody to see. Then Nigeria, the entire territory, was property of Britain. And we again found out that permit me to use a map to illustrate, in the upper segment here, we recall that there is a Fulani caliphate. There was the jihad that brought them to Sokoto and all this. They conquered this territory and were in possession of it, administering it according to their own civilization for almost 100 years, from 1804 to the period when the British that came from the southern flank, conquering and somehow getting hold of the entire south. And it was in their push towards north that they met the same caliphate that had reached the Ilorin and Benue belt, and because the two came from outside, they were here on a common mission to get what they can get for themselves. And like two robbery gangs that had to cooperate, against a common target, the joint venture, what they did between themselves became a joint venture. The name of that joint venture is Nigeria, and it was formalized in 1914. What was sold to us as amalgamation, what I'm saying is backed by documents in black and white, which we got from the archives that were hidden from our fathers. I have been face to face with people like Nohoro in course of this project to ask whether they knew about all of this. And it turned out they did not know, because many of them were not born, not even Azikiwe. And on the basis of what they agreed to do together, the foundation was so laid to put that caliphate in charge like an agent, because the British knew they would leave at some point. And they were resisted so fiercely down south. You remember the Oba of Oran Bini, you remember King Jaja in Okobo. A whole number of the resistance was such that they already made up their mind what to do with people from one part as against people from the other part. And what came out as amalgamation was merely an annexation of southern Nigeria to northern Nigeria. And if we recall, I'm sure many of us must have heard about the Southern Lady of Means that was to be available to the northern side. And coming from that point in 1914, of course, it was celebrated, the amalgamation in 1914 was celebrated by Grand Dobas in Zungeru and Sokoto, whereas it was protested in Lagos. The people who knew, because nobody was told in the South. It was only the North that knew that such was. It was a German newspaper that leaked it. The amalgamation that would be announced on the 1st of January 1914 was a German newspaper that leaked it on the Boxing Day of 1913. That's the day after Christmas. And people, there was nothing they could do. The announcement came, and there were protests here. There were celebrations there. What was the significance of that? Because one part was going to take hold of the assets of the other part, and the part that will enjoy that was that north. And it was something the British had to put in place and nurture all the way to when they might have to leave. And they made permanent arrangements that will be permanent even when they leave. So as at 2018, that joint venture is still cutting away 3 million barrels of crude oil every day against the will of the owners and sharing it over the heads of, and nobody from among the owners is on the table of signing.
Nope. That is another level of criminality. So we'll leave this video in its entirety on our Facebook. And when we tell you guys that, this plan is ongoing, this is the same, it was never supposed to work. That's why they're sitting there thinking, what kind of people are you guys that they will put you all together like a bunch of animals, and you're there playing nation and country and republic and everything else. They don't even understand this. They're sitting there looking at what manner of people are this? It wasn't meant to survive. It wasn't meant to last. Even with the video we played last week, because it's not just our brother Tony saying it. The guy that was narrating it was saying how Nigeria will never work, how they have different segments of people and different segments of operation, that it will never work. But we have a bunch of criminals benefiting from the rogue franchise called Nigeria, and they don't want it to break, and ignorant people are there supporting it. Even some of our women will go and tie wrapper with a picture of a criminal on top of it and be sharing it because she got a box of onions. We have done all manner of stuff. And then when we commit all these blunder, we go to church and start praying and fasting to undo what we have done to ourselves. My people, doesn't even make sense. Doesn't even make sense. How can we be running in circles, chasing our own tails? At some point, you will be dizzy and you will pass out. Please, 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 let's end this madness. Let's end this madness. There are so many ways for people to suffer, but not like this now. Not like this. It doesn't even make sense. Who wants to let this thing called Nigeria to continue to run? A failed state that have made everyone, my whole lifetime, I've never seen anything good in Nigeria. Never. Never. So if I die tomorrow, that's it for me. Never, never, never. Never. Only criminals are benefiting from the nation or the rogue. I don't even know what the fund federation called Nigeria. Only criminals. And those that are not criminals are the ones pushing for a change. And we are asking the general public, the ignorant general public, to begin to learn the process that we need to get where we're going. And like my sister said earlier, you don't have to say anything. It's okay to be shut up. Like Mechiano, you shut the hell up and you listen, because we need to go. If not, the criminal Okarabusa will come and run for president. This brother here talking from both sides of his mouth will tell you he wants to be president. Every one of them wants to be president because it's all about chin-chan. What can I get? They will never make any good decision that will benefit us. Never, ever, ever. And it's equally evil for those of you in diaspora hiding in your mansions overseas, going home to change your dollar and show off and come back and leave our people in lion's den. Can we educate ourselves? Because at least we have internet, we have resources, so that we can empower individual families to rise against this nation called Nigeria with this. We have what it takes, people. We just need to learn and then apply it. Oh, go ahead, sister. I'm so emotional with this.
Yes, my dear. We have to. You see, we are not as dumb as some people have painted us. But when we act the way we are acting, it shows that we are dumb. It shows that what they said we are, that we are that. Meanwhile, I know we can do better. And you know the unfortunate thing, that while our people were running up and down, ignorant, running over the world, like scampering everywhere, like mad people, that the Fulanese, we are strategically following what their forefathers put in place for them for 200 years.
In conjunction with their British enterprise.
Exactly. Because look at it, there are two rogue groups. The British and all those people who want to steal our land. They now found agents, a minute group of people that they could use, and they formed partners, and they have been doing that. And you know, they use the three strategies that we are using in NINAS, which is enlightenment campaign, mobilization, and enforcement. Because you know what, like we said, this is an international standard that if you want to do anything, you will follow, you enlighten them, mobilize them, and then enforce it. Fulanese are now in their enforcement phase. Do you know when they were doing their enlightenment? When you were seeing Fulani man carrying radio and following cow in your village.
GPSing all over our town.
Exactly. That
Before
was the
Google,
enlightenment campaign.
collecting data.
Exactly. That was the enlightenment phase. They were not listening to music. They were listening to their people, speaking to them, training them, telling them what to do and what not to do. What were you doing? Trying to process your visa to run out of your father's land.
Sure.
Fulani man was coming into your land, doing GPS, mapping it out, and telling the people as he was sitting on the radio what next to do. If you do this, then do this. If you do this, then do this. They were listening in their own language.
We even invited them to our house as gatekeepers.
Yes. Yes. And then some people say,
the doors open, they begin to hear Iba and say everything.
Exactly. And then some people will say, the Fulanis I know do not kill people. Oh. We used to work together with them. We used to go to the farm. And then when we go to the farm, they see us. They say, the cow, move, move, move. They say, hey, cow, move, 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 move. They say, no, the Fulanis, we know we are peace, love, you know. These are our old people saying these things. People that are holding us in this, their political structure. Opening this mouth in public and saying, the Fulanis, we know, are used to loving people. Oh. They will move the cow and they tell us, move cow, move cow, move cow. And we tell them, move cow, move cow, move cow. Can't you use your brain? Can't your brain work? That they did this thing in phases. There was phase of enlightenment. They were enlightening their whole people. Because we're saying, how is it that every Fulani that you give birth to, once they come out, they start carrying gun? Somebody had taught them over time. And then they began to mobilize them. Say group by group, go to Kaduna. This group, go to Jos. This group, go to Southeast. This group, go to Southwest. This group. Then when they finished stationing themselves, they began to enforce their plan. And we are saying to our people, we are not that stupid. It's just that we are not putting our thoughts together. And that's why we come here every Saturday, to make you, so that instead of the more you look, the less you see. The more you look, the more you will see.
You will
begin to coordinate your eye and your brain, so that what you're seeing will make sense to you. So they are enforcement phase. We are also in mobilization and enforcement phase with Ninas. And we are begging people that are walking up and down speaking English to stop. All these half-baked lawyers, people like Mark Zoheme, you know that the Constitution is holding us down. Then you went to collect money so that you will free your criminal that you're battling with over there. It's all about money. We know. You people know the truth, but you want to make money from the pains and sorrows of our people, especially the ignorant ones, the ones that have refused to follow instruction, but they will rather fall into the trap of Fulani Caliphate. And then the half-baked lawyers and criminal lawyers will make money from them. Even Bruce Fein, that you brought from America, he told you, he said, if the Constitution is the problem, they all know. So why are you still following these wicked, greedy politicians? These naive and gullible traditional criminals, traditional rulers, yes, that's what they call themselves. Can't you understand that these are agents of the colonial masters?
Benefiting
or
from
are we talking about the crooked pastors and priests who have become so spiritually empty and unrighteous that occultic people have taken over the land and are still taking over the land? These people are trading in the name of God. The house of God has become a business center where our politicians go to sell and trade their lies.
Sure.
Who set it up? Your pastors, your priests, your bishop. They opened up a business center and they will bring in these political criminals to come and sell their lies to you. And then you will buy. No wonder the land is full of evil. The land is full of evil. And these people, after stealing all the money that they are supposed to use to develop our land, they will come with their vainglories, celebrating stolen wealth and bloody money, because our people cannot differentiate between good and bad.
Not anymore.
This one will say Ezego. This one will say this. The way they spread the money, they are no more spreading naira, they spread dollars. And you're not asking yourself, where are they getting this money from? It is your money. The money that was meant to build schools, build your roads, hospitals, give you a meaningful life. They shared it among themselves in their group and in their caucus, like coven, because they're all witches and wizards. They have a coven. They share all this money. They come in public and they spread it. And you are clapping. Ezego. We are saying, please stop being stupid. Yes, you stop being stupid. This brain that is inside here, it's meant to work. That is why we are not walking on 4 legs. You see our hand and leg. There's a difference between us and animals. God that made us to walk on 2 legs and stand erect so that we can see what we're seeing and plan. Our brain is on top of our head. But our people are walking with their brain down. We say, stop that. Stop all these people that come with their inordinate pride, celebrating their achievements in the face of pain and sorrow of our people. Can you stop celebrating these criminals? Can you stop? Because these people are the ones working against what we're doing. Why? They know that if this thing we're working on stands, which it will, they will not have that type of opportunity to steal all that money and start doing what they're doing in public.
Nope.
Have you asked yourself why is it in America they don't come to spread it everywhere?
Spread what?
Why is it in America they don't come and bring bundle of money as that before you finish FBI, all of them will come and check where you got the money from.
Yep.
That's a system that works.
An invitation for check.
Yes.
For check.
Once they see you, they're like, okay, can you come and we just because what you did just brought yourself out and say, see me, and they will see you because there's a system put in place to see you. They will see you. Please, we are begging you, for the sake of the children that you're giving birth to, those children that you're popping out of your womb every minute and every second, for the sake of those children, join Nina's movement and begin to reason with your brain. This is another person that I want to show you again. These are the politicians. We are not clapping hands for him yet because we have been deceived severally. They will say the right thing in the morning, in the evening, they will say the wrong thing. 1 minute is this, 1 minute is that. But when we are showing you Kingsley Moghalu, for those that don't know who Kingsley Moghalu, if you see how he's talking, his mouth, somebody said, did you see his mouth? He's like, he's talking as if he's even lying or as if his mouth is not moving properly. Can you see? I said, okay, let's not look at his mouth. Let's just hear what he's saying. When we are presenting for you to hear that, we are telling you that they all know the truth. We have told people last presentation, we told you, mention his name. We told you that they know the truth. Yep. And then the things you are sharing to them, they're hearing, they're watching us. That's why he made this video. But it is your responsibility to take him accountable, to hold him accountable, to say, Kingsley, Professor Kingsley, now that you have said this thing, why are you not joining Nina's in getting the structure pulled down, the evil structure pulled down so that we can put the right structure? Then if you want to now become president, you can become after that. Not before. Not before. It has to be after. Listen to Kingsley Moghalu with his own mouth tell you the truth as it ought to be.
My name is Kingsley Moghalu. I know that it looks like it's all over for Nigeria. But I'd just like to remind each and every one of us that working together, we can stabilize Nigeria and make it a prosperous country. But in order to do this, we must all come to the table and address what the fundamental issues are, which is injustice. Nigeria needs a fundamental constitutional restructuring. There is no other way out. Else, there is a very strong possibility that the country can implode.
Cheerful. Well done.
It does so violently, it will not be pretty. War and violence do not yield any real benefit for the normal man or woman in our country. It means disruption, it means economic dislocation, it means refugees, it means hunger, starvation, and all kinds of things. And if that happens, let us be very clear who is responsible. Those who refused the opportunity to fundamentally restructure Nigeria, giving it a truly new people's constitution. That's what we need to do. Let's begin that discussion before it is too late. But let's not give up hope. And on the other hand, we cannot have the peace of the graveyard. I don't believe in illusions. I don't deceive myself. I'm very pragmatic. We will and we can face the problems that are facing us, and we can overcome them. But I don't believe in the peace of the graveyard, and I don't believe in violence. Both are extremes. We want justice. We want prosperity. We want jobs for our youth. That's what we want. We need a leadership and a constitution that can give us the kind of leadership that this country desires.
My. You see, maybe he's saying this, maybe his pounds, born on a London on a US, his dollar and pounds is running low. So now he's talking constitution. They will say, brother, come back. Let's give you your own cut. We are not even playing anymore. And this is what we want our people to understand. When we are persistent for the past how many years now, we have been every Saturday is constitution. We're telling you guys that's what it is. That is the key issue. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise. Any problem that you have as a Nigerian, whether your marriage is crumbling in America where you're hiding because you and your husband are lying to yourself, sending money home, and your useless brother is overusing it and causing you stress, whether you have kids that are jumping out of the window when you're working 20 jobs at night to keep things afloat. 1999 constitution is the problem. Whether you're taking money for your retirement, because I have heard horror stories of our brothers taking money for their retirement to go start some type of business, and Eken Jabba of Nigeria swallowed it. The python swallowed the money, swallowed everything, and left the man in depression. We're telling you guys there is a name for your problem. It's called 1999 military decree. Even the criminals are now coming up and saying, hey, we are not going anywhere without this. So even when they're trying to go to 2023 election, they're saying we will be lying to ourselves if these things are not addressed. Injustice. We are looking for equity. All these things that we've been lamenting on this show, if those things are not addressed, the Fulanis will death with you guys bumper to bumper every chance they get. That's why they can come and tell you that the oil in Bayelsa belongs to Jigawa because the British criminal enterprise has given it to them and they signed it. And as long as you answer that name, Nigeria, that means that you agree to their mess, because that's what it is, a mess. You're agreeing to that mess. So we welcome those that are waking up. You know, we may be tough initially, but we do appreciate those that are waking up and having that honest conversation. What we don't want is to see you're behind on some type of channel show next week saying something else. We are looking for consistency and persistency. Go ahead, sister.
Yes, my dear, we are looking for consistency and persistency. We can't be going back and forth like crazy people because we're not crazy people. And for those that are asking, what can we do? We say, yes, it is your responsibility to hold the human operators of 1999 Constitution accountable. I'll repeat. It is our collective responsibility. Nobody is doing it. It's not UN, it's not EU, it's not Israel. No, it's us. We that are under the yoke of this evil caliphate. We are the ones that we hold those operating 1999 Constitution in our land accountable. They are your villages and your communities. They're there. The first group are political parties. Those that are coming to your neighborhood to do political party. We are saying that political party has become a sin. Whether it's APC, PDP, whatever, is a sin to come to our land and campaign for 1999, for 2023 general elections. We're not talking about the by-elections. And we're not talking about boycotts. We're not saying you should wait until the day they say you should vote, then you don't vote. No. We say you have to be part of it. It's the opposite of boycott that we're preaching. We are saying you need to be inside of it to stop it. A vehicle is coming to your land, and we say this vehicle is full of isimad. This vehicle coming to your land, your neighborhood, is full of people's head that they are cutting and putting inside. We are not saying you should boycott and go inside your room and hide so that the vehicle can move up and down and cut the head of everybody sees. We are saying come out and tell the vehicle, stop.
Back up.
You vehicle, you're carrying human heads, stop. And we're not saying bring broken bottles and machete and stick. No. We are saying just organize yourself in your neighborhood and say, hey, vehicle, stop.
Not here.
You saw they did it in Yoruba land. Yoruba people, they were listening to Ninas. They did their protests. They did their own in organized way. It has to be in organized way. We don't want anarchy. They did their meetings. They did everything, and nobody could stop them. Even the few people they tried to arrest, they followed the law and liberated them and brought them out. There is a way these things are done. You must follow the way because we don't want to fall into the hands of criminals. You can see what the people are doing in our land, calling themselves, whether ESN or IPOB. There is anarchy everywhere, cutting head, like Bakassi boys and Bakassi people. We are not doing all those nonsense. We are matured people. We can do it. Yes, people, we can do it. We can organize ourselves in our neighborhood, in our communities, and do the right thing.
Yep.
Yoruba people have shown you a prototype that is possible to have meetings of indigenous peoples.
And we've already gathered ourselves since they remember we have all these village meetings.
Exactly.
Everywhere.
To show that level of organization.
Uh-oh.
Exactly. So they did it. When Nigeria police came, they spoke to them, normal, man to man, because we know these people now. And they said, okay, have your meeting. Because they are operating within the law that is still in existence. There are laws still in existence. We're saying it's not functioning well. And we want to make it, but we are not sending you to carry broom and stick and broken bottle to go and start hugging Amotan. We will never send you to do that. And these women that keep contributing money, there's one I was listening say, I'm giving 500,000, I'm giving $500, I'm giving $1,000. You are contributing to the death of our people. You are contributing to the killings going on in our land. Stop it. We are saying we want to do this in an organized manner. Political party has become a sin in our land. Why? Because it's a channel through which caliphate comes to our land to steal our resources, steal our people, destroy our things. And are following the Fulani INEC. These things happen in your mind. You saw it. You see it. You're part of it. You saw what has been happening for forever. So because they want to sell us out again to Fulani INEC, without first reworking the terms of our existence, we say we don't want them in our land. But there's a way it has to be done. You will be in organization, you will organize yourself and speak in one voice and say, hey, stop, go, move back. Like a mature person. It's like I'm in my house, somebody is coming to my house to mess up. It's my house, it belongs to me, I pay for it. I will come to the door and say, hello, can you move back, dress back? I won't go to my room and jump. Hey, they're coming. No, I won't do that because the house belongs to me legally. It's my land. It's my house. You can see what they're doing. The Fulanis have now brought Amechi from the dead to become their chief broom carrier. Yes. You know, it's witches and wizards that carry broom. So they want to bring Amechi to come and carry broom in our land. The northern governors who deserted Goodluck and PDP and entered APC to bring Buhari, they are now going back to PDP to work with Atiku. Who is Atiku? Another Fulani man who inherited late Yaradua's senior, his estate. It's called Intel in Port Harcourt. This money we are talking about, this estate we are talking about is in the tune of $300 million. So we're not talking about small money. Abiku or Atiku is the one that inherited it. And Atiku has tentacles everywhere to drag our people back to Fulani election. Those in IPOB, remember, no erection, no signature. Or what is that in the door? Signed and delivered. Signed, delivered, and
sealed, signed and delivered.
Signed and delivered. Is this Atiku that gave them the money to come and lie?
Twat everything.
Yes. So they brought him again to come and do that. So now they're moving so that they will drag us into it. Another thing, they know that Amechi is very greedy. He's greedy enough to be loyal to the people that are killing his people. This is Amechi, the resources of River State to sponsor Buhari and his Fulanization agenda. What baffles me is that this Amechi is not from a community. Why is it that his brothers and villagers are not calling him to ask him questions? You see, these people, because we tell you that what the Fulanis are doing is very calculated. Either way, either APC or PDP, they want to ensure that Nigeria is kept together to the detriment of the owners of the land.
Yep.
So why is it that the people, like Amechi, his people, are not calling him to ask him questions? Are we talking about Tifunibu supporters? The Tifunibu supporters that were in APC have now moved into PDP because they want to support Atiku. Why Tifunibu goes to London for medical checkup the 20th time? Because Tifunibu and Buhari, they have an apartment in London hospital where every minute they will go to rest. Yes. Why do our people think it's okay to live like this? Why? For years, these people opened up outlets to transfer Nigerian money into the hands of Fulanis while they're getting set for this jihad. This takeover, this land grabbing, it's not something they did overnight. They had strategy that they worked with. You see, the owner of NASCO in Jos is one of those outlets. You see, Dangote, that's one of those outlets. And you know what? Obasanjo helped to build up Dangote. Obasanjo brought down Ibeto to put in Dangote and built him up to where he is today. Now he's the richest man in Africa. Why Nigerian children are busy trekking through deserts, swimming through Mediterranean Sea, going to Europe and looking for greener pasture, Dangote has emerged the richest man of Africa.
Can you imagine? And the Westerners are promoting it, knowing how he got his money.
No, why wouldn't they promote him? He's bringing the money out. Remember, it's to open outlet so that Nigerian money can go out now. Why would they promote him? That's an outlet. Now the money has to come to them. And we're saying that this basket, this thing, my Bible will say devourers. You know, as you're putting money in the basket, it's leaking out. The Bible calls it devourers. These devourers, we said that the 68 exclusive list, the 68 items in exclusive list of that your 1999 constitution is what is making all this to work. I'll give you another example. You see, there's limestone in Middle Belt, in Benue. The license to mine it is in the hand of federal government. And who is in charge of federal government? The Fulanis. Now, Fulani man has built cement factory in Sokoto. Sokoto, not in Benue, in Sokoto. Now, look at oil and gas again. Oil and gas is in South-South. But they do not have the license to do anything about it. It's in the hand of Fulani federal government. And who has the money, the license to build refinery? Dangote. Why they sabotage all the old refineries in the south? They give Dangote or Gangote the right to go and build refinery. So that when he's done, you and I will begin to buy that fuel at cutthroat price. Yeah, these are the dead among the living.
He looks like he's coming from his grave site. Like, I mean, isn't this like somebody coming from a grave site? I mean, how else would you describe this?
Yeah, of course, that's what it is now. But our people, are they understanding it? Are they understanding that these are the men killing us because they're dead and they want all of us to die as well? All this evil are going on while our governors and senators watch. Aberibe will say, I'm not part of the government too. Yet he was voted to be part of the government to represent us. But he said he's not part. So we're saying it's time to begin to hold them accountable. To hold somebody that was voted to go and represent us, say you people should hold him accountable. Our governors and senators should stop watching why evil overtakes us. We need to begin to think otherwise. They should not watch evil swallow us. Why they are busy taking turns on who to go to Sokoto to tie scarf. When they go to Sokoto, they sit on the floor. They tie them evil scarf. The witches and wizards scarf. If you want to represent us, you better be on our side. I'll give you another example. guns and bullets are in the hands of Fulani federal government. How to use it is also in their hand through police and army. It's their hands. And how do you expect your governors to protect the people where these things are in their hands? Dangote does not go through customs at the port in Lagos. He does not pay tax either. But he brings in goods that will compete with the goods that you Nigerians are bringing in. You that pay taxes and pay custom duties. How can you tolerate this evil one more day, let alone a whole year? Are we talking about maritime? Are we talking about Navy debut in Kano? Are we talking about dry seaport in Kaduna? While Amechi is connecting northern Nigeria to Niger, he does not think that Akwa Ibom and rivers need to be connected to Lagos to boost their economy. Does not think so. All roads connecting state capitals in southeast, south that will help us to move goods and services are in the hands of Fulani federal government. Which means that for those lands, those roads to be built, they will have to wait for the brain-dead Fulani elites to give permission for that to happen. Meanwhile, state roads, the governors have to go into bushes and into forests, trying to construct roads for the people to pass. It makes it more difficult. It makes it more expensive. And then the people will turn around and start blaming their governors for not working. I'm not saying that they're working, but I'm just telling you, showing you all these bottlenecks everywhere and there that this 1999 constitution have put in place. You can go to the road of Enugu-Onitsha road. At a time, that express road was supposed to be a dual carriage. At a time, one side was full of forests and different wild animals living there. On express road, though, there's supposed to be dual carriage. They're saying we can't do this anymore. We can't do this anymore. You need to be part of this change that we are preaching, not Buhari's chain, because the chain that Buhari talked about was not change, it was chain. What we are preaching is that you can be a change agent. Join Nina's movement. Listen to our brother talk to you again. Thank you.
None of you can deny that what I'm saying is the truth. You know it's the truth. But either you won't write it, or you're too cowardly to speak it because you want some favor here or favor there. So because you can't talk, you are muzzled. I'm not. I'm a free black man. And I didn't come here looking for a handout. And I really don't think you need one. Your problem is that you think you need a handout. Everything you need is right under your foot, but you're looking everywhere else for help instead of to yourself and what you can produce for yourself. This is Africa's dilemma. You are parading yourself before the world as international beggars when you gave civilization to the world.
Yep.
Your problem is not America. Your problem is not Israel. Your problem is not Britain. Your problem is your disunity and your dependence on others to do for you what you could do for yourself. So I don't have to come back here anymore to help you. The help is already here. The knowledge is already here. The land is here. The sun is here. The water is here. The minerals are here. You have some of the finest minds in the world, but they're in Europe and they're in America making money while Africa suffers. Why don't we create politically stable environment and call the children of Africa back home to help build Africa? We are your children, and we will come and help. But don't expect us to come with billions of dollars when we don't have it. We're struggling in America, but you got it all right here under your foot. And you should be ashamed not to look to yourself, begging white folk to give you what you could give yourself. What I said today, which one of these countries is going to give you $20 million? America's not going to give you $20 million. You got it right here. But your disunity won't allow you to pull it. It's your fault. And you got to accept that responsibility. That is why my message is atonement, reconciliation, and responsibility. We got to stop blaming everything on somebody else and see what is our responsibility
In all of this, basically, we have to hold ourselves accountable. Just rightfully, like the topic said, it is time for us to hold ourselves accountable. There is no reason we should be in this mess. There is no reason we should be promoting British enterprise called Nigeria. There is no reason we should allow somebody like called President Boo Boo to come out with Boo Boo in his butt and be parading on our platform as our
Let's call
president.
us prepare to call while you talk. Sorry, I said while you talk, let callers begin to
Yeah.
prepare.
Oh, okay. So it actually is time to call in. It's just that some of these things is heartbreaking to watch because we know how easy it is for us to get where we're going. It's like we are holding ourselves hostage. And we keep giving an example with someone who maybe has been in a locked up house. What you did not know is that the criminal holding you hostage opened the door 10 years ago and left, and you're still in there thinking that the door is locked when it's unlocked. Nina's LNC/Nina's has done the job for you. All you have to do is to key in. Even more lower or more, what's the guy's name again? More low or whatever his name is. He is not even acknowledging.
Mogalo. Mogalo, or you can call him Molwe.
So even him is acknowledging that is the constitution. And they will come out. Don't worry, they'll be coming out one by one to say the truth. But are you listening? Are you understanding? Are you believing? Because another thing is believing in yourself, believing that we can do this work, believing that you have the power to be that change agent. It's not that difficult. The work has been done. We were even thinking about where can we start to do this self-determination work, not knowing that our brother Tony went 21 years ago to start the work for us. Can we give him a helping hand and bring this to fruition? How can we leave something of this monument on one person or one group of people? Few people doing this for us. Our sister Otumba, she's been there from day one. They are pushing and pushing, and then the people they are pushing for are busy giving to criminals, busy giving to their fake pastors, sending money to Rome to fund things in Italy when we need our own Rome in our villages. Can we get it right, people? It's not even that difficult. It's not. Do you know that if we have a home that we are proud of, it will make you can sleep well at night. For those of you that have sleep insomnia, sleep problems, you will be able to sleep well at night. All you have to do is to join hands, whether you're using your time, your resources, or your treasure. There is something that you can do. We have broken it down for you. 3 things that you can do to promote this movement, so that if your village people understand it, your kingsmen understand it, or should I say your family, then your kingsmen, and then your village, and then your city and your town, we will stop these people from making fool of us and using our money for their own gain. I ran into a young guy, a nephew of a former governor. And this young boy with his Rasta self told me he's going to be the president. He's only high schooler. He said he's going to run for governor through his uncle when he finished. 1 minute that I met him, because they believe in criminality. So the phone number to call is +1 774 +1 774 our brother Obiedo, he's so funny. He said that this guy is smoking his mouth is dry or something. That was so funny. He's referring to the Moolua guy, whatever his name is. So it's time to come in and give your contribution. If not, we have the question of the week ready, and we are ready to give out the card, the 1,000 naira recharge cards today. So, but you can call in. We made it easy today, but come next time, it's going to be a little bit difficult. We want to make sure people are actually paying attention, especially it's only for those back home. So if you're in diaspora, don't even waste your time. Don't call us. We are not giving it to you. We are giving it to only those with Nigeria, African number, really. Or should I say Nigerian number? I don't know if the card in Nigeria will work in other African countries. So this is a time to call in if you want to give any contribution. If not, you're muted. Are you saying
Sorry.
something? You're muted. Okay.
Yeah, I'll say something. I'll say that Tony is on the phone here.
Okay.
He wants to contribute to the program.
Sure.
Go ahead,
Right.
please, Bro Tony.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Am I coming through?
Is
Yes.
it okay?
Yes,
Okay.
he is.
Yes, you are. Go ahead, please.
Okay. I just wanted our listeners to be updated on where things are as at now.
Okay.
What is going on, if you listen carefully to Kingsley Moghalu, all the parties are now, realigning their campaign to pretend that they agree with us and that they are going to carry out that reconstruction of the union if they win. But we've been going through that round of those same deceits from 2007 campaign of Buhari. He was part of the Pronaco conference, and he came back to us after Pronaco to say that if we were to support him to become president, he will carry out these fundamental changes in which people will be voting a referendum to rework the basis of our relationships. Of course, he did not win 2007, 2011, and then by 2015, they had moved one more step to put it in their manifesto, the reconstruction. And when you hear restructuring is like reconstruction, which starts with a demolition of old structure. We have defined in detail what restructuring means from the perspective of the self-determination collective. And so even the prank of saying, oh, it's restructuring we want to do, it is in 2 stages, like you saw in our 5-point proposition at the constitutional force majeure.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 stages mean in the first stage, those who will federate, those who will form any kind of union, will have to commit to union. Because the collapse of the Constitution, the 1999 Constitution, the reason we have faced it so, unrelentingly, is that the collapse of that Constitution is the end of the Union of 1914. Anybody who doesn't understand that may suffer from it. And therefore, there will be, once that Constitution collapses, there will be no union. And the only business to do is to determine what we do with our sovereignties. So we are actually working from the point of having recovered our union, from the point of our sovereignties, rather, from the point of the collapse of that Constitution. And so we are so very far ahead of the enemy in this. The only thing still sustaining them is our people who are not listening. They do not understand why we put in these 22 years to bring them to that situation where they are not going to, be depending on anybody agreeing with them before they get back their sovereignty. They are not going to be depending on anybody that will, make it happen. Where we are is that I'm sure many of us saw the video of the meeting in Abuja, where Obasanjo, who helped them impose this constitution in 1979 and reinforce it in 1999, was meeting with the Sultan and Gumi and all kinds of other people. They accept the communique from that meeting. In the communique from that meeting, they accept that the constitution is the problem that has to be solved. They accept that the agitations in Nigeria are all flowing from the rejection of that constitution across the land. They are urging the Buhari, who, by the way, had a hand in the setting up of that meeting. I happen to have been invited in writing to that meeting, but we found out a few things, and it was the decision of Ninas not to go to be available in some corner. When the government is ready to talk, they will come in the open and not pass through Obasanjo and Sultan and all kinds of people in between. And so I'm reporting from the background information of why they called the meeting. The backbone of the caliphate has been broken. That is why the Sultan was in that meeting. And if they would like, if in their communique they now accept that the constitution is bad beyond redemption, they now accept that the agitations are flowing from that rejection of that constitution. They now ask that those who are doing agitation should no longer be criminalized by government, rather that the government must call a meeting of what they call a reconciliation conference to rework the union, the terms of the union, and that if that meeting is not called urgently, that the union will collapse. They actually use the word collapse. If you go back to our 5-point proposition in this force majeure, you will see that they have accepted everything we said there. The only thing they tried to do differently was that they were trying to craft a role for the National Assembly. But of course, they are not going to be able to do that. And so I'm just reporting to us that the backbone of the villa is broken. The backbone of the caliphate is broken as far as that constitution is concerned. You then saw the other video that came from Chatham House.
Yes.
Chatham House is the proxy for Buckingham Palace as far as the affairs of Nigeria is concerned. You listen to that video, you also see that they were saying the same thing as the meeting of Abuja. They now accept that there's a problem that needs to be solved and that it has to do with the constitutional arrangement, and that our democracy, or whatever we say we think we're doing now, is going to collapse on our head if we don't go back to reworking the terms of the union to the accommodation of all. And so if the caliphate, if the backbone of the caliphate is broken, the backbone of the villa is broken, the backbone of Buckingham Palace is broken, on account of the onslaught we have mounted against that constitution, that is the cage holding us in the union. That's the cage holding the Yoruba. That's the cage holding the Ijaw. We saw the Ijaw coming out the other day to say that that constitution is no longer acceptable to them because they now realize that their oil and gas is held down by virtue of that constitution. Now, with all of this on our side, what they are doing, I'm sure we also saw the video of Hakim Baba Ahmed, where he was trying to market the election of 2023 as a necessity for all of us so that we can get rid of Buhari. They are all himself and Utomi and all of those who are talking about mega party, aside from APDP and APC, they are presenting themselves as the ones who do the business if they win. Again, I can report to us authoritatively that the only thing they're trying to do is to deceive us into thinking that we must go to that election to survive. Otherwise, Buhari will kill all of us.
Ashash.
The caliphate has lost all options of being able to retain this constitution and the union. And therefore, it is only in taking us to that election in 2023 that they're going to be able to save anything at all. And if our people will listen to us now and do just what we asked them to do, we've not asked them to go to buy guns yet. We've not asked them to go and get our more tanks. We're only telling them, stand up where you are. Tell the political parties and the political merchants operating in your area that you can't go to this renewal of the life of that constitution with them in 2023 under this constitution. If we do that in this first quarter, we're in January today. We have February, we have March. If we do just that, all the other cards in the hands of that caliphate are bad. That constitution will go down. And these actors they've sent out, the Mogalus of this world and all the other people who are now coming to tell us, come with us, it shall be better. They are tickle that the North is doing exactly what they did in 2015 against Jonathan. Everybody is rallying. They've gone Nicodemously back to PDP. They are going to give an empty shell of a ticket to your Amechi. So you would think that there's a contest. Amechi the Igbo, Amechi the Southerner, Amechi the South-South, APC the ruling party. You would think that there's a contest. But they are the ones you will all forget that is the Fulani that is printing the PVC they will give out is the Fulani that know where they want to go. You saw their governor the other day lamenting that if power should slip out of their hand at this time, that they will be thrown out of the union. That's their fear. And so they go to get an article that had pretended about this matter before. I can tell all of us listening now. And in the coming days, we go back to national TV in Nigeria to say it again. In 2016, Atiku was thinking of how to get the ticket to go and contest under the same pretense of being the champion of restructuring.
Ndosh.
We engage him. 9 persons from across the south and middle belt. It fell on me to lead that presentation, eyeball to eyeball. By the time we finished that interrogation, Atiku wanted a written script from what had been explained as a restructuring that has to happen. And he agreed with us, because I raised the issue. He agreed with us that it had to be done before the next election. In fact, he said Nigeria will collapse if it's not done. And I told him before I went to write down because he said, Tony, please, just as you have explained it now, because everybody is saying they don't know how it can be done. It appears you guys have done some more work. Please, if you read this to 3-4 pages. Before now, Buhari had done the same thing of coming to say, we will go, we will win, we'll do it. Bakare had come to do the same thing, taking what we have to go to try to get power with it. If you do the same, even if you win that election, you will have us to contend with. You say, no, that is it not when Nigeria is in place that will be contesting the election? Long and short of it is that, having said all that, we now wrote that thing, came back to another meeting, reviewed it all through, because we wanted to get that reconstruction done before another election. Lo and behold, the moment that the document got to him, that was the end of all that meeting and communication.
Criminals.
He took the materials given to him to now go and write a book on restructuring and began to present himself all over the world. That was how he got the PDP ticket. And I whispered to the leaders of the party, including, let me not call names, at the highest levels. I whispered to them that this is what has happened. Atiku does not believe in the restructuring, in the reconstruction that may return anybody's sovereignty to them.
What will he believe?
What he's talking about begins and ends with the National Assembly. And we had explained it to him, which was why he didn't come back to us. The first call I got from his circle was the day after the convention in Port Harcourt, when he had deceived the PDP into giving him the ticket, in the belief that the overwhelming demand for restructuring will give him victory. The next morning, I was woken up with a call from New York. Somebody from him say, Tony, now we are all ready. We have been instructed to set up a committee of how the restructuring will be done. You come and head it and all of that. I asked him whether his principal had told him that there had been any discussion on this, and that if he hasn't, let him call his principal and then call me back. He never returned. He never called back because, of course, his principal must have told him that I said to him in 2016 that if he used the material I gave to him on this subject matter to go to get power in terms of getting tickets from any party to contest and win, that I already know he's not committed to anything outside the Fulani interest. Atiku is Fulani through and through. And if I hadn't engaged him, I would be wondering whether he was ignorant or he was anything else. I can tell us authoritatively that he is not at all interested in solving the problem in the manner that can solve it for us. He's still thinking of something to drag us to National Assembly that is under their own control. He hasn't changed. And so all of them who are coming to pretend in one form or the other that they agree with us, but only after the election will they do. I can tell us that they are criminals. But I can also report to us happily that we're in a better position to prevail by preventing them from getting to that election, because there are so many dangers ahead. The ones who are conducting the election can actually derail the election and assume emergency powers.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I'm making this call now is that our people are still counting everything as an election that will produce one winner or the other. I'm sure we remember when Malami wrote a memo that was leaked, a memo in which he was advising Buhari to suspend the constitution.
Mm-hmm.
The people who are dealing with the caliphate, they have all kinds of options. They can actually pretend they're going to election with all of us and derail the election and assume martial powers that will suspend that constitution, keep the union intact, and allow them the opportunity to use the guns they have to properly conquer all of us in the name of managing the crisis they create. That is an option to them, open to them. And there's a section in the constitution that allows them. If anybody wants to verify, go and check section 135 and see what is possible. That's where the people are going now. That's one of the games they can play. The other game they are playing, which you have already seen, is to put the ticket that will win in the hands of one of them, and then bring somebody from our part to pretend that there's a contest. So if they win you in such an election, what are you going to say? That constitution will survive, and all of what we're crying about to remain in place, and the winner will have to swear. That's assuming they want to even get as far as election. Atiku will swear to defend and uphold that constitution. 36 states will remain. 74 local government areas will remain. What is it called? The 68 items that sees all your assets. And so our task is to play the advantage we have now by preventing them. If we manage by any means, and when I say by any means, it's a choice of life and death. If we manage by any means to stop them from getting to election on our own terms, not on the terms they orchestrate, because they will need to come to the second half of 2022 to be able to go to that plan. We have the field for 5 months open to ourselves to get ahead of them. Prevent the journey to the election from getting started at all. They have no other card to play. They will have to surrender or be defeated comprehensively from what will happen from that point. But if our people are refusing to listen, because they are just unable to reason, they don't have the discipline to listen. If our people refuse to listen and they think there's some other way to go, waving flag and jumping all over the place, or going to say it is their turn to be president in an election that Fulani that is struggling for life will conduct. They are just validating the journey to the election, and that is the opposite of this campaign. Anything that happened to us will be because we allowed them. We are in a position to stop because they are of our own people. Look at what the Yoruba are doing. What's our own people doing? What are we doing right now to save ourselves from death? Our people are divided between those who are chasing the Biafra that has no definition in terms of map, and the ones who say it's our turn to be president. None of the two has any plan that can prevail. But we have a plan that is going well everywhere else, but in Igbo land. And we can already see the kind of things coming out from the two plans. The Biafra they are pursuing, we see where it is today. The Nigeria of presidency they are pursuing, we see where it is today. Yet, they are not willing to listen. But the final thing is that there's good news. And that's the second big reason I said, let me alert us as to the dangers ahead and the good news of where we can, the surety, the assurance that will prevail. Here's that good news. I'm sure some of us know a bit about statistics. Right now, 100% of Nigeria from in all the parts, agree that constitution is bad beyond redemption, including the caliphate, including the villa, including the South and Middle Belt. That's 100%. But of that 100%, only 90% agree with us that constitution has to change, not any form of amendment, completely. So we're down to 90%. Some 10% are still thinking about patching one part. Then we go to the third question. Of the 90% that agree on 2 items, that the constitution is bad, that it has to change, we have 2/3 only that agree with us that the National Assembly is not the one to do the change.
Nope.
That we are down to 60% from the 90. The other 30% are still pointing towards National Assembly as the ones that will do the business. They agree with us that the document is bad. They agree with us it has to change, but they are thinking National Assembly should do it. We have only 60% that agree on all the 3. That the document is bad, the document has to change, and that the National Assembly should not be the one to do it. Now, of that 60%, the one that is now an emergency is that 2/3 of that 60% are thinking, some out of ignorance, others out of greed and naivety. Some are saying, oh, election is too close. Let us go and do election first and then come back. They agree with us completely, but they think they have to go to election first before we come back to this discussion. And that is 2/3 of that 60%. So we are down to 20% that agree on all 4. That the document is bad, the document has to change, that the National Assembly cannot be the one to do it, and that we have to do it before we go to election. So you have 20% on the side of 4/4, but you have 80% combination of reasons still heading towards election. Therefore, what will happen to them is that whatever happens to election in terms of something that now becomes reason why election cannot go on, and the whole number of things that are building up. What will happen is that all of those who already agree with us, those 90% that agree that the document is bad, the National Assembly is not the one to do it, and that we have to deal with it, by ourselves. They will all be. It will be a fait accompli of a situation, and they will have to come back to what they already agreed upon. That is that the document has to be changed completely, and that is not the National Assembly that will do it. They won't be arguing with us at that point whether we should go to election and come. It will be something that happens that will then compel them. I'm hinting us so that we can get ready to receive that multitude, because more than 2/3 of them, more than 2/3 of those who were in that 80% that was going towards election out of a combination of reasons, more than 2/3 of them will come back to that 20% and will be no less than 75% that agree on all the 4. That the document is bad, that the document will have to change, that the National Assembly is not the one to do it, and that we must do it before we proceed to any other election. That is what is coming.
Yeah.
Those who wish to argue, continue to argue. Those who want to partake of it, so that we go to the transition during which referendums will happen to determine whether we are in union with anybody or want to be by ourselves. I think I have to leave it there.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. So, viewers, we have an assignment. Tony has broken down our assignment down. Our target is the election. Like I told you, somebody came with bus, driving in your neighborhood, cutting heads and putting inside. I said, we are not telling you to boycott the bus. We are saying, come out in mass and stop the bus. If you want to enter inside the bus, enter, get the driver out of the seat. Get the bus, put it away from your neighborhood. It is your responsibility. That's what we're saying. You listening to me. For those that are saying, when are we having referendum? Stop being stupid. At least not on the platform here. Because this platform will not tolerate stupid people. If you come stupid and you're ready to learn, fine, we embrace you. But if you come here and you're supposed to embrace truth and knowledge and you're displaying your stupidity, we do not want you on this platform. Please, 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 we don't have time to waste. We want to address especially those that are running around with this, their Biafra stuff. The new one now that they have introduced Juju, now they have brought a Juju master inside their midst to start killing them. As if the one the Fulani military is killing is not enough. They want to now bring Juju to kill themselves. And we appeal to especially the women, the mothers, the one that call themselves woman. Can you stop being stupid? Because women are not meant to be stupid. If in a home, a wife is stupid, everybody will collapse. Because even if the man is crazy and the mother of the children is able to still gather her children together, there will be hope for that family. But in a place where the mother of the children runs stupid along with the man, I don't know what to do with the children. It's trouble. Please, our women, you cannot afford to be stupid at this critical moment. You need to use your brain, because where we are is brain work. We say we don't want to do all the things that jeopardize our children. That you will go there, they will bring war to your neighborhood and start killing you. It's as if we are bringing clean water. Ninas is bringing clean water. And you people are pouring shit water inside it and diluting it, messing it up and getting it contaminated for the children. Please, stop. Politicians, stop. Fake freedom fighters, stop. We don't want anarchy. We want to do this in a very organized way. If you can stop the 2020, the move to 2023 election, stopping the move, not waiting to boycott it, stopping the move. Why are you stopping it? Because the constitution they will use to rule you after it will only finalize your death. That is why we're saying you need to stop it so that we can rework our constitution, we can reconstruct. We're not saying getting a new constitution. No, we can reconstruct our existence. How everything, the local government, the state, everything will be reworked. Everything, everything. Not just bringing one, amending one. No, everything needs to be. We are starting again from the basics. We are starting again. We need to begin again. After that, you can start your voting process and whatever you want to do. Thank you so much. Please go ahead, Sister Muna.
My dear, do they even have a choice at this point in time? If you don't do the needful, you have yourself to blame. The good news about what we're doing is that time is on our own side here because we're in a comfortable zone. But every day we weep for our people. Every day we cry for our people. Every day we want more for our people. And we are looking for change agents. Those that say they want to have, mercy on what is going on. Those that want to gain some knowledge, because we don't want arrogantly ignorant fools to be speaking. Again, it's okay to be quiet if you don't know what the issues are. Close your mouth, open your mind and listen so you can understand. So when you speak with evidence. So when you speak authoritatively and you can back it up. Not just to speak because you want to need your that's not good enough anymore. So if you are a change agent, if you are the one that wants to carry this baton of self-determination of us, removing this so-called 1999 military decree that we know has nothing for us but death and backwardness and just name it. Anything negative is totally associated with this military decree. And we cannot let the likes of Moralo and Atiku. We were in the other camp when Atiku came and deceived us. I know how much I spent for them to make folders to say no election when we didn't know what we are doing, no election in our land, only for one person to use it to collect resources for himself. We can do better, our people. And what we are saying that don't make the same mistake that we make. The protocols are here, or the strategies are here. The LNC and NINAS has done the job. All we have to do, understand the material, and then we take it up, and then we are done. Some people keep saying, oh, why don't we have president here? No, this is for you to understand. The criminal Britain is still doing business on my behalf without my consent. What do I need to do about it? How do I need to stop it? The only way we will take our sovereignty back is by going through this process. If not, if you vote for Atiku, they deceive you with Amechi, the one that will go and sign contract in Chinese on your behalf. I know we're not even talking about the money that we owe all over the world because of these ignorant fools. If we are too hungry to understand what we are in the midst of, then that means that we are marked for death, and then we will die at the end of the day. But it doesn't have to be that way. That is the alternative. It does not have to be that way. God has given us that. He has given us that help that we so dearly needed. So our question of the week is, what is the meaning of Ninas? The first person to text it to that WhatsApp number +1 774 3380942 is the same number that we always post on our platform. The first person to post it there, the answer there will get a 1,000 naira phone charge, recharge card, I think it's called. 1,000 naira recharge card sent to your phone. So all we'll need is your phone number and the person will send you the code. So the first person to give us the answer to what is the meaning of Ninas will get that we get that code sent to their phone. The only thing that we ask is that, we can use your information if you get our card, because we want people to know that we're actually doing this. We want people to know that we're actually giving out numbers. So we'll be posting the winning numbers on our program as we go, just to show proof. Okay.
Yep.
So what is the meaning of Ninas? If you know the answer, just text it to that number, to that WhatsApp number, and your
Please, can you read the pin? Okay, because it was not showing complete.
Oh, it wasn't. Okay, let me go back.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure what wasn't showing, so that I
The
can
pin,
move it.
like the down part of it, because we pinned a comment.
Let's
The
see.
comment pinned was covering it. I'm sure they saw it or heard.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So let me remove this so you can see. I know this happens all the time where you think people are seeing and they're not. So let me remove the comments so that you can.
Yeah, the comment is gone. If you just go back a little bit.
Go back a little bit. Okay.
Okay. So people, the ball is on your court. It's time to do what you need to do. We want you to be sensible. We don't want all those type of movements where people just move like a headless millipede. No. We want your head to be on your shoulder. You think with us as we're moving. Because we don't want to set up a jungle after Nigeria. No. We don't want a jungle. We want a nation that you'll be proud of. And you need to be part of the process. That's why we come here to educate you, so that you'll be part of the process. We will move, whether you join or you don't join, but we need you to be part of the process, because we want informed citizens in the new nations or nation that we're going to. It's showing the number. Okay, yeah. All right. So we can go.
Is it showing the question?
Say no, it does say question of the week.
Oh.
In the next details. Okay.
What about
Okay.
now?
Yeah, it's showing the number and the question. Yeah, it's
All right.
okay now.
So anyway, so here it is. It says what is Nina's, and the phone number, as well as our website to visit. Also, we encourage you to visit ninasvoice.org. It's a good place to begin this journey if you're new. If you want to understand what the process is, we have all the information listed on that website. And if for some reason you don't like to read, you just want somebody to give you a quick rundown of what it looks like and where you need to go, always the same number, +1 774 338 0942. Give us a call and we will take care of it for you. We will make sure that you understand what the process is, so we can move. We need to run.
Samuna, sorry, just let me add a little bit. For talking about people that cannot read or people have problem, because we have dyslexia, generally in Africa. We have made an audio. Our sister helped us to make an audio for Aladima documents, because that Aladima document is a summary of all that we're going through, the diagnosis, the treatment plan. So she made it into audio. Please look out for that audio. We shared some in our WhatsApp group. Those that can convert it any form you want to convert it, please convert it and share to our people. It's a summary of everything that we're saying, trying to do, so that you will follow. For those that cannot read, are not able to read, please, we have it at heart, because we know our people are intelligent. They just don't have this information, and that's why you help us to separate, to spread this information, to do it in CDs, go and play it in villages. Like we told the half Fulanis did their own. They were putting radio on while they're inside bush carrying cows, and they were talking to their people. So do the same thing. Be part of the enlightenment campaign. Be part of the mobilization campaign, because work is going on, but our people need to know what is going on, and they will follow. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. So we'll see you all next week. Again, you still have, I don't know, whatever, the end of the day to submit your answer to that question, and then we'll go from there. So we will see you guys next week. Thanks
Bye.
for coming. Oh, the system here is not behaving well today. Okay, and bye, guys.